Good day, students. Welcome to Theories of Crime Causation, or CRIM 101, Chapter 3. We are going to discuss the midterm topics that we will have. So these are the following topics that you are going to learn for this term. Okay, so environmental theories of crime. These are some of the theories under the environmental theories of crime. During the prelim, you have learned the different approaches, right? Which are the classical approach, biological, biosocial, social process, social conflict, psychological, and developmental or life course approach. To add on, okay, idagdag nyo din dyan sa notes ninyo yung geographical approach. Okay? So under the geographical approach, we have the Cartographic School of Criminology. Okay, ano ba itong Cartographic School? When we say cartography, it is the study and practice of making and using maps. Okay, so ito daw yung pag-aaral at paggamit ng mapa or paggawa ng mapa. So kapag sinabing cartographers, these are the scholars. Ito yung mga tao na nag-e-employ, when we say employ, gumagamit ng mapa and other geographical information related to their researches. Okay, ine-employ nila yung mapa. They understand informations about geography in relating to their research. So when we say cartographic criminology, okay, imagine the ways maps can inform and shape our criminological knowledge. Ibig sabihin, yung mga geographical information or information about maps ay ina-apply or isa din sa humuhubog sa kaalaman natin sa criminology. Ayan. So, cartographic criminologists, these are people also, persons, na gumagamit ng mapa and geographical information in order to study, understand crime, okay, the origin of the crime, the effect of the crime, the causes of the crime, and also understanding criminal behavior in our society. Since there are several reasons as to why criminal behavior happen, okay, kaya nagkaroon din ng geographical approach. Ayan. So, Cartographic School of Thought of Criminology. The founders ng Cartographic School ay si Adolphe Quetelet and Andre Michael Guerre. Okay, but if we are going to talk about the father of cartography, it is Adolphe Quetelet. Okay, so si Adolphe Quetelet, isa siyang Belgium mathematician. Si Andre Michael Guerre, isang French statistician. Okay, so when we say cartographic school of thought, it is a statistical, geographic school of thought. Pwede siyang tawaging statistical school of thought. Pwede rin siyang tawaging geographic school of thought. Nasa libro ninyo nakalagay, tinatawag din siyang ecological school of thought. But as per research, yung cartographic, hindi siya ecological school of thought. Kasi kapag sinabi natin ecological, we're talking about Chicago School of Thought, and that's different school of thought. Okay? Hindi yan cartographic. Again, kapag sinabing ecological school of thought, Chicago, yung tinutukoy dyan. Yung cartographic, it's either statistical or geographical school of thought. Okay? So kapag sinabing school of thought, ulitin natin, ha? Isa siyang perspectives, collection ng madaming ideas and opinions or outlook ng madaming tao, ng group of people. Okay? That these people, they share common characteristics. They share the same philosophy. They share the same discipline. Okay? So, yung mga ideas nila, yung mga perspective nila, pinagsama-sama, tinawag na school of thought. Katulad ng cartographic, hindi lang isa yung opinion na ating pag-uusapan. Okay, maraming mga opinions, including Ketelet's opinions and Gere's opinions. Okay, so kapag sinabing cartographic school of thought, it represents or examine the relationship of criminality to the physical environment. Kapag sinabing physical environment, we are talking about what kind of seasons do you have in your place? Anong klaseng klima meron dyan? Gaano ba kakapal ang populasyon ng environment mo? Okay? We're talking about the physical environment. Okay? Not the social environment. Kapag sinabing social environment kasi, we're talking about the people na nakakasalamuha natin. So if that's the case, if if the study of crime with regards to interaction in the environment or interaction of people in the environment, hindi na siya cartographic. Okay? Ano nga ulit na approach yon? It's social process approach. So kapag criminality to physical environment, okay, talagang yung physical, yung neighborhood, yung kasali na dyan, yung hangin, yung tubig, okay? Physical na kaanyuan ng environment. Ayan yung cartographic. Okay, so they investigate the effects of a range of demographic, situational, and environmental factors such as season, ayan, climate, population, poverty, and geographical distribution on the crime rate. Na ang ibig sabihin daw, pwede mo daw tingnan yung crime rate based on geographical distribution. Paano daw? Paano nakaka-apekto etong mga factors na to sa rate ng krimen? Okay? Tingnan natin. Okay? So, because of this school of thought, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na hotspot theory. Ayan. So, kapag sinabi nating hotspot, it is a term used to denote spatial clustering of reported criminal incidents. Okay, so in simple word, ibig sabihin yung hotspot, ito yung area kung saan mataas yung density ng crime. Makapal yung density ng crime. Okay, so small places in which the occurrence of crime is so frequent, ayan, that it is highly predictable at least over 1 year period. Okay. So, eto daw yung mga particular place kung saan madaming crime ang nakocommit dyan. Na, kumbaga, kung sa term pa natin, pag nakarinig tayo ng pangyayari sa isang lugar, nasasabi natin, ang dami kasi talagang nakocommit dyan. Talagang rampant yung crime dyan. Ayan. We are referring to that place as a hotspot. Okay, so crime mapping. Ayan. One of the most important tools in identifying crime. Yung crime mapping daw, isa sa pinaka-importanting tools sa pag-identify ng crime. Okay. So, paano natin ma-identify itong hotspot na tinatawag? We can identify the hotspot of a particular city or a particular province through the use of crime mapping. Okay? So, mapping crime, it can help police protect citizens effectively from lawbreakers. Paano? So, kapag gumagamit ka na ng crime mapping, okay, as tools, ibig sabihin, nalalaman mo ngayon yung lugar kung saan mataas yung pag-commit ng crime. Or makikita mo ngayon yung tinatawag na hotspot ng crime. So, kung yung location na yun ay mataas yung crime, mas nabibigyan siya ng pansin. nalalagyan siya ng resources para ma-prevent yung pag-commit ng criminal behavior sa lugar na yon. Example, okay, in Mati City, in mapping of crimes, nakita na yung hotspot ng robbery, okay, or yung hotspot ng crime, example robbery, ay nasa Dahican. Example lang po yan. So, nasa Dahican. So, ano yung gagawin ng Mati Police Station in order to protect the citizen effectively? So, magdadagdag sila ng human resources ng mga tao, ng mga police na ide-deploy towards sa Dahican. Kesa sa mga lugar na wala naman masyadong nangyayaring crime. By that, nagagamit ng maayos yung resources. Okay? So, mas magiging effective yung pag-prevent or pag-suppress ng crime. Okay, so simple maps that display the location where crime or concentrations of crime have occurred. Okay, so sa traditional way, isang simpleng mapa lang siya. Minsan, yung ginagamit ay mga pins lang. Okay, nilalagyan lang ng kulay pula, kulay green, kulay yellow, yung mga pins to determine what kind of crimes are being committed in a particular geographical area. Ayan. So, kapag maraming pins, ibig sabihin, maraming crime na nako-commit to that. So, nakikita dyan yung mga pagkukumpul-kumpul ng pins. Mas na-visualize, okay, ng ating law enforcement kung saang area ba kailangan pagtuunan ng pansin. Ayan, eto. Ito ang map of crime or crime mapping na digital na. Hindi na pins lang yung gamit. Okay, computerized na. Ayan. As you can see, merong nasa bilog dyan. Ayan, masyadong colorful. So, ibig sabihin sa lugar na to, ayan, sa Savannah area, Bay Street. Okay, ito yung tinatawag na hotspot. Kasi dito madalas nangyayari yung krimen. Okay, yung different colors dyan, ito yung legend niya sa bandang kanan. Kapag orange, ibig sabihin pag nanakaw, burglary, ayan. So, hindi masyadong mataas yung burglary. Ano ba yung marami? Okay, theft from a vehicle. Ayan. Okay, yung rape, hindi masyadong marami. Yung green. Okay, at wala tayong masyadong nakikitang homicide. But still, it is a hotspot kasi nga madaming crime na nako-commit to that particular area. Ayan. Since yung pins, sabi ko kanina, isang traditional way in crime mapping, kay isang age-old system, ibig sabihin, um, sinaunang sistema pa, manual process pa, hindi siya nagpo-provide ng accurate information or reliable data sa pag-predict ng trends ng crime. So, ano yung magiging solution natin dyan? Solution natin dyan is the effective use of information technology. Okay, since yung manual na pagka-crime mapping hindi siya gaanong effective. Kaya na-introduce itong GIS na tinatawag. Right? So GIS stands for a Geographic Information System. It is a computer system that analyzes and displays geographically referenced information. It uses data that is attached to a unique location. So, isa siyang computer system na automatic niyang i-analyze lahat ng information geographically. Yan. So, it is also a computer-generated maps. Ayan. So, may mapa na, computer-generated. What is the advantage to this one? Mas mabilis siyang nakakapag analyze, nakakapag-digest ng information kahit massive amounts of information yung ilalagay mo dyan. Okay, mas effective siya. So GIS allows police personnel to plan effectively for emergency response, determine mitigation priorities, analyze historical events, and predict future events. Siyempre, mas magiging effective yung pagpaplano, okay, ng ating law enforcement kasi nga mas madali nakukuha yung information pag computerized na siya. Mas mabilis na critically analyze ay yung mga informations pag naka based na tayo sa digital. Ayan. So madami yung advantages as to the use of technology in crime mapping. Okay? So, pag-uusapan natin yung contribution ni Quetelet sa Cartographic School of Thought. The following are some of the explanation formulated by criminologists about geography and crimes. Okay? So, according to the thermic law of delinquency, kay Quetelet na pag-aaral yan, sabi niya, sa North and South Pole daw, sa South Pole, kapag warm season, ibig sabihin, mainit, mataas daw yung crime against person. Mataas yung violence sa South Pole. Okay, pag warm season. Sa North Pole naman, since sa North Pole daw ay malalamig yung lugar doon, ayan, yung season ay malamig, mataas yung crime against property. According naman kay Montesquieu, okay, so si Montesquieu, mas popular siya sa kaniyang contribution sa theory of separation of powers. Dahil kay Montesquieu, kaya nagkaroon na three branches of government. Okay? Or yung tinatawag na ano, trias politica model. Ayan, trias politica model or the three branches of government which are the legislative, executive, and the judiciary. Okay? So, dahil sa kanya, kaya nagkaroon ng tatlong branches para hindi daw maabuso ng gobyerno yung kapangyarihan, yung authority na tinatawag. Okay? So, according to him, criminality increases in proportion as one approaches the equator. Ibig sabihin, mataas daw yung pag-commit ng crime pag malapit yung lugar sa equator. Ayan. Mataas naman daw yung rate ng drunkenness or pagkalasing kapag malapit kayo sa North and South Pole. Ayan. So, sa season of the year naman, according sa cartographic, there is more crime committed against person during summer. Ayan. So, kapag summer, mataas yung violence or crimes against person kesa daw sa tag-ulan. Kasi nga daw, yung klima daw, yung climate condition, nakakaapekto siya sa mood ng isang tao. So kapag mainit, madaling naiirita. Ayan. So kapag madaling naiirita, irritable ka, mm, na, na, na-engage ka into pakikipag-away. So yung pakikipag-away, it can cause criminality. In addition, during dry season, people get out of their house and there is more contact. Okay, so kapag dry season din daw, sa mga lugar na walang winter, yan, walang summer season tulad natin, wala naman tayong apat na season. We have two season, we have dry and we have wet season. Okay? So sa mga lugar natin kung saan dry season at wet season lang, during the dry season daw, mas prone tayong makakommit ng crime. Kasi bakit? Kasi kapag mainit, asan ba yung mga tao lumalabas? Ayan. So kapag lumalabas yung mga tao para maibsan yung init na nararamdaman, mas mataas yung contact nila with other people. Ayan. So mataas yung pakikipag-ugnayan sa ibang tao. So mas mataas contact, mas mataas din yung probability na makapag-commit ng crime. Ayan. Posibilidad na magkaroon ng violence. Okay, soil formation naman. Okay, since soil is a physical characteristic of an environment. So according to soil formation, mas mataas daw yung crime ng violence sa fertile level lands. Ibig sabihin sa mga mapapatag na natataniman kesa daw sa mga hilly rugged terrain. Okay? Sa mga areas na medyo bukid pa. Okay, bakit? Kasi mas madami daw yung tao sa fertile level lands kesa sa mga bukirin pa. O kapag maraming tao, ayan, of course, there's a chance na magkaroon nga ng kaaway. Okay? So in addition, there is more incidence of rape in level districts. So, kapag sinabing level districts, we are talking about urban, mga areas na maraming tao. Mas mataas daw yung crime ng rape kaysa mga urban areas. Months of the year naman, ayan, mas mataas yung incidence ng violent crime during warm months from April, specific siya, kay April to July. Nagkakaroon ng peak sa May. Ayan. Kasi sa ibang lugar, meron silang tinatawag na May Festival. Ayan, sa May Festival, yung mga tao namamasyal. Okay? Nagkakaroon ng short trips from one place to another. Ayan, yan yung ibig sabihin natin by excursion, short trips. Nagkakaroon ng picnic. Ayan. Kung saan yung mga tao nagkakaroon ulit ng contact with one another. Temperature naman, according to Dexter, mataas ang number ng arrest kapag umiinit yung temperatura ng isang lugar. Kasi yung temperature daw, nakakaapekto siya sa emotional state. Ayan. Pero yung influence daw ng temperature, mas mataas sa babae kaysa sa lalaki. Ibig sabihin, mas madaling mairita yung mga babae kapag mainit yung temperatura compared to male. Wind velocity naman, under the same study, it explained that during high wind, ibig sabihin, mahangin, less naman daw yung arrest. Okay? Dahil daw yan sa mataas na presence ng carbon dioxide. At kapag mataas daw yung presence ng carbon dioxide, nalilesen daw yung energy ng mga tao to commit violence. Ayan. So on the next video, let's talk about Michael Gary. Thank you.